And we are recording.
Alrighty. When last we left off, the wolf pack, having arrived in the ancient city of the elves, have made contact with a family friend of the Redfires, Vilnir Quickfinger, Imperial Ranger. After trading some information, the pack had several leads to follow up on regarding some ways to sow chaos into Elvenon a little bit, including investigating a facility owned by Elvenon's biggest entrepreneur, Imrian, that has recently gone dark, as well as making contact with a local gang known as the Red Blossoms, and investigating a druid circle further up the peninsula. While grabbing some last-minute information on their way out of town, the pack set a potential meeting with the Red Blossoms in Visorian Green for the next day. Anne learned a very upsetting truth. A druid with the same description and maiden name of the twins' mother was also wanted for treason. Choosing to push this off for now, the group made their way to the dark facility up the coast, finding a stone building overrun with more of the foul ghoul monsters from the previous day, including a few that had never been seen before that seemed to resist some magical effects. After slaying the patrolling creatures and regrouping, the party was met with an earth-shaking rumble and a pained, hateful screech, seemingly coming from the nearby well. And that is where we're picking up. It is the 18th day of the month of planting. It is a little bit past noon at this point, having traveled up here and then had to fight your way through a small group of these guys. You are currently the exterior of this almost cottage-looking building that, even though you've just recently slain these creatures, still smells like blood on the air after this earth-shaking rumble has occurred, coming seemingly from where the well was. Wolfpack, what would you like to do?
That well stinks.
Yeah.
These things stink too.
Yeah, they're not very pleasant, are they?
No.
Can't help but wonder where they came from.
I'm betting inside.
Do we know if there's anything in this house? Should we knock?
We could knock, or we could just go in.
Do we know where the rumble, or did we localize that, or is it just in, like, we all felt it or heard it? Sorry, I can't.
Sound-wise, you're aware that it came from, there's a well out to the west of the building a little bit, off a walkway. The rumbling and earth or shaking effect felt like it was more directed from that way, but you did feel it all around this whole area. So it was fairly widespread, but epicenter seems to be towards the well.
We should check the well.
Should check the house first in case anything from the house meets us at the well and surprises us from behind.
Okay. I'll knock.
Before he does that, is there any windows on this house/cottage thing?
There are several windows, however, when you look at them, they're it's almost like heavily tinted glass. You can't see anything inside of them.
Gotcha. Okay. When you knock, or just sneak in, just be careful. Don't know what's inside.
Okay. I'll knock pretty hard.
Okay. You knock fairly hard. You listen, and about 12-15 seconds go by, you don't hear any sounds inside.
Hello! Are you in danger?
You wait another 10 seconds, no response.
If you don't need help, don't say anything!
Another 10 seconds, no response.
I'll try to smash the door open.
These people need help.
You pretty easily are able to smash through this wooden door with your warhammer, especially since, and it really just kind of comes apart super easy because it wasn't locked.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say,
So as you start like smashing into it, pieces of it just go flying, and then you notice the part that where the actual door mechanism is just falls out on its own.
Tez doesn't notice that.
It was barely locked into place, so there was no actual locking mechanism going in.
Oh. Okay.
But the door is open, and you are able to go inside. as you enter the building, so judging, like, as you kind of look around, start just peeking in, first thing you notice is a stronger smell of blood on the air. Second thing you notice is the architecture. You're able to see from the window, there's multiple windows pointing outside. That tinted glass, you are able to see out of them, just not into them. So they're almost like privacy windows in that regard. But as you look around, this building looks almost like it was designed more as like an office building or like a like industrial purpose that then they threw a bunch of furniture in to make it look kind of homey. So it kind of has that like loft aspect of it, like converted loft of like, this probably wasn't originally built to be a like living space.
Okay.
But in that entryway that you find yourself in, you find some basic storage chests, just, mudroom kind of stuff, into what looks to be a dining room. And it looks like there were a couple of plates, no half-eaten food or anything, no one was caught in the middle of a meal. But you do find a long trail of blood leading up into the bedroom to the north.
Oh, there's blood.
Ooh,
Tyler, do you see it?
I do see it. All right,
No.
I'll go check it out.
Try
walk
the
up
door before you
next.
smash it.
I will.
Yeah, I'll try the door.
I'm not doing anything to this door.
I'm just standing here.
For the record, the door is not fully closed. It is slightly ajar.
You should peek in there. Look and see.
Yeah, I'll just peek my head in there.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check real quick. 18, not bad for the first roll of the year. As you start you slowly peek in, listening, trying to pick up any details. The only detail you're picking up is the sound of Tez's breath next to you. This room beyond that you're peeking into is completely silent. As you open the door ever so slightly to look at it, there's no signs of movement, anything like that. And then you eventually see a foot. Very, very still-looking foot. And as you open the door slightly more, you see the rest of a body that looks like it's missing parts of the abdomen, like it was bitten out of. So it looks like something was probably munching on this at one point or another not too long ago.
Oh.
Ooh. That's gross.
We got... Yeah. I'll take a closer look at it. See if I can figure out what's going on with it.
Alright, go ahead and roll an investigation check then.
Besides, obviously, that it's 8.
From the outside, I haven't gone in yet. I'm just gonna shout, "Everything okay in there?"
We got somebody's dead in here.
9.
Come in.
You start checking around the body, and you don't necessarily see anything at first glance as you're kind of rifling through it. You give it a quick once over, start looking around the room. Nothing really of note, almost to like a concerning degree. Like even though it has like the furniture and the furniture looks used, like someone was using it, it doesn't still necessarily feel like a living space. Like no one was actively living here all the time or anything like that. So it kind of gives you a weird vibe as you're kind of going through stuff. But you do not find anything of note with that glance through.
Can I tell how long they've been dead-ish?
I'm gonna say, yeah, your wisdom and medicine's high enough. Within the last day or so, the blood still looks relatively fresh, and as you kind of look over it, the chomp marks look relatively similar to the little ankle biters that you had previously been killing outside.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'll peek my head in the next bedroom just to make sure no one's there, and then, yeah, then we leave.
You peek into the second bedroom, and you find another corpse in there as well. Also partially eaten.
Alright.
Okay.
Um,
These two were lunch.
I'll walk back
Yeah.
on the outside, I'd like to just see if I can find like a. I mean, these things look like monstrous, I'm assuming. Is there any way that I could tell if my inkling is magic. If there's a way that I could find what or where they come from or how they were made or any insight into that.
Go ahead and roll me.
Poke around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it an Arcana check.
Okay. Where am I? Sorry about that. Arcana.
11. So you've got one of the screaming, like moaning ones that had multiple like spiky arms sitting in front of you. At this point, as its body is laying out here, it's similar to the last time you looked one of these over. The skin has been tightening at like an alarming rate. Like you expect rigor mortis and decomposition to start setting in at some point. It's going at a very, very fast rate, faster than normal. Bone structure still seems to be humanoid at some point. As far as the external growths and the extra bones and joints and things like that, you're not necessarily able to determine what might have caused that. It does seem magical in nature, but you're not sure as to the exact like what could have caused this, other than just something magical, some kind of curse or something. Glancing over some of the other ones as well, it's kind of the same deal. With the rate of decomposition and everything, there's definitely something magic to it. As far as the source of this, you are not sure.
All right. So to the rest of the group, I'm getting some magical vibes. I can't quite tell from a cursory glance. I'm going to try and cast a spell to give me more insight, but it's going to take a little while for the seance. So I'm going to be here for a little bit. Shout if you need something. And I'm going to try and cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay. You start the process as you sit there going through the motions to cast Detect Magic. Is anyone else doing anything, or are you waiting for Dross to finish this ritual up?
Since I was just kind of standing around while they were searching the house, I'm just gonna work on taking a little short rest so I can get some spells back.
Okay.
Because I'm a little tapped out.
I'll check the kitchen, see if there's anything of note.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Yay.
7. You find basic food stuff like basic ration. Yeah, you find a kitchen. There's some basic rations. Your sister kind of mentioned that vibe of like this doesn't feel like a really lived-in place. You're getting that same vibe too. Like the stuff's all here that would make it a kitchen, and it clearly had some kind of use as like a kitchen or dining room. There's not a lot more to it other than that. It feels very like technical, almost like an office kitchen. Like it doesn't feel like something you encounter in a home or anything like that. You also find what looks to be it's this document with signatures on it. There's 2 fields going down for there's a couple different pages on this document, all just signatures. The left signature always looks to be the same one. The right signature looks to be different every time. Anyone else doing
my way
anything?
towards the well.
Okay.
Not going
I'll say
like.
in that. Go ahead.
Huh? I was just gonna say not going like to it yet, just around it.
Okay.
At least up to this gate.
Gotcha. Drost. I'll say in that time you've been able to finish up Detect Magic. You finish the spell, your eyesight goes in that faded green color as you're able to see things into the arcane weave. Looking down, what exactly are you looking at, first off, now that you have this spell up?
So with the spell, since it lasts a little bit longer, I think like 10 minutes, something like that, I'm gonna investigate as much of this body as I can while time allows, if it hasn't completely disappeared. But I'd also like to save enough time to like sort of walk around the premises to, so I'm able to encompass the whole area in the spell to get sort of an idea of any other magic. But immediately with the creature, I'm mostly looking for an origin. Any insight that I can get into that.
As you look over the remains of the creature, nothing magical comes off of it as far as an aura. Which isn't necessarily unheard of. You're aware that sometimes, like, magical creatures tend to lose that whatever made them magic after they die. You're not able to determine any kind of source point or anything like that using the spell, though. At this point, it is just a lump of meat.
Okay.
I will say, hold on, actually, roll me a medicine check real quick.
A medicine check. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't do that very often.
You do not.
But apparently today.
But you've read a couple medical text journals in your time. You're fairly well studied at this point. You're not able to pick up on like an origin or source point or anything like that. But glancing over the body, you've looked at corpses and dissections and things like that as part of your studying. Normally, and you've done it under the effects of detect magic too. It's in fact part of the course study of learning certain aspects of how magic interacts with flesh and form and things like that. Usually there's some kind of like remnant of magical energy as far as what you, from an arcane standpoint, would refer to as like a soul. There's usually at least, it's never like strong with a corpse because obviously whatever is made up of that soul would have left, but there's usually some kind of remnant. As you look over this body and you kind of just peek around the corner where a couple of the other ones are, none of them have that remnant.
I'm gonna mention to the group that it seems like these are perhaps soulless creatures, maybe created, but not born or not. I don't know how I would relay that, but in a more esoteric way than just straightforward.
Well, they have a master, not a mom and dad.
That probably sounds about right.
Okay, we should kill it.
I think then if anyone is still in the house, I'll probably just do a cursory stroll through the house. I don't know how, unless certain things would catch my eye. At this point, looking for both like magical auras, but also like information.
Go ahead. I'm going to say roll an investigation with advantage because you've got your magic sight up, so it's a little easier to spot anything that might have been missed.
Okay, advantage. And sorry, investigation, you said?
Yeah. 23. You do a quick walk through the house, and the first thing that catches your eye is you just kind of peek into the first bedroom that was called out where a corpse was. You do see the exact same thing that Tyler had seen, is a corpse that has had some chunks ripped out of it and bitten off, probably by those little ankle biters. However, there's a faint aura of abjuration coming from somewhere on the body. And as you go over to it, do you investigate the corpse a little more?
For sure, if I'm sensing an aura, yeah.
You give it a little more of a thorough pat over than Tyler did at the first glance, and find tucked away almost behind the back in like a hidden pocket, you find a crystal about 8 inches in length, an inch in diameter, giving off a very strong abjuration vibe. And it is covered in some kind of runic writing on it. What languages are you fluent in?
Excellent question. It's been a minute. I am fluent in Elvish, Infernal. Where are you? Undercommon.
Okay. You almost recognize a couple words of this, similar to Infernal, but not quite the same as Infernal. So it is, you are not able to read it.
Okay.
But
I
glancing through
will-
finishing your investigation, checking through the rest of the house here, you don't find anything else magical. You do find that same document that Taylor had found, and you start looking at it, and it kind of clicks in your head. You've seen documents like this before at libraries. This is a sign-in and sign-out document. This is essentially someone was monitoring traffic coming in and out of a facility and writing down, I am this person, which is why the left column is always the same name, and the right column is who is coming and going.
What are the names, or what is the common name?
On the left-hand column, the name that is always the same thing is Hieronymus Lex.
Trying to look through my notes. Are we familiar with that name?
You have not encountered that name before, no.
Okay. I mean, I would if Taylor left it, I would grab it and stuff it in a fold of my book.
Okay. You grab that, you walk out, kind of regrouping, just giving a once over to the rest of the property while the spell's still up. There is one other effect that you are able to see fairly clearly with your detect magic up before the spell goes away. It is coming directly from the well, and it is of the transmutation school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone would be following me around, but I would for sure point out that I found, this crystal, and that there's definitely magic coming from the well.
Slight correction. There's two magical effects coming from the well. Both of them, I'll give it with that investigation check. There's two effects coming from the well. Both are transmutation. They almost seem to overlap.
Okay, so would that be like they're pinging in different locations, or they're just two separate?
They are.
Entities?
If you hadn't rolled so high on investigation, they are almost intertwined.
Oh.
Not necessarily the same spell, but activating in the same location. More than likely under different circumstances. Based on what you know of enchantment, you can set triggers for certain things. They probably, and whatever these two spells are, they probably have different triggers, but they are acting in the same space.
Okay, so two transmutation effects acting in the same space. Potentially intertwined. Yes. So I would either make my way back to the group or relay those things that I'm noticing to the group, and ask anyone if they can read any of the runes on this crystal. Abjuration magic, you said?
Yeah, the crystal is definitely giving off abjuration magic, and if I recall correctly, I think I know for a fact that Tyler can read this. Let me make sure. Language proficiency.
I would at least look at it.
I know. Yeah, I was right. You look at it and you spot it because you're kind of becoming an old hat at this language, because you had to decipher an entire book written in the ancient version of this language. This is
That's right.
very quickly. You are very quick to figure out this is Abyssal. But it's used in a way that you're not used to seeing. Abyssal tends to have these like high archaic sentence structures and things like that, long flowing sentences, very descriptive. This is very curt, like someone who is Abyssal is not their first language, used it to mark something, and this crystal, written on multiple sides of it, where the arcane runes are kind of like left. There's spots where there's arcane runes that are probably lending to this abjuration effect. The spots where it's not, where it's just Abyssal, it reads Security Chief on it.
Okay. Guess this guy was security.
He didn't do a very good
that's
job.
right. No, not at
He
all.
was bad at it.
Like really bad at it.
Yes.
So would I be able to? I'm the one that can see the magic. She's the one that can see, can read the runes. Can we sort of collaboratively, like, would I be able? Would we be able to determine if it's the runes that is giving off the energy, or the entire
Yeah.
crystal
So
itself?
the crystal itself, the magic is coming from the crystal itself, and it's essentially a 8-sided crystal. It's almost like a pillar with 8 sides on it. I can't remember the name in geometry for that kind of polyhedron, but almost like a cylinder. So 4 of the sides of this crystal cylinder are written in abyssal with that security chief title. The other 4 are just arcane runes carved into it that seem to be helping contain the abjuration effect of the crystal.
Cool.
And actually, go ahead and roll me another quick Arcana check. I'm remembering things about your backstory, like that might be relevant.
I would also, if we're again, I hesitate to continue rambling. Arcana. But I would ask. I would just say, hey, Jives. Got any knowledge of this or anything of our surroundings? And I'd reach into my bag, and I just open my bag, let him pop out.
So as you open your bag and you pull out, if you want to describe what Jives looks like exactly.
Oh God, I haven't really put a whole lot of thought into that. Probably just a crystal ball. That probably has like an effect, like a swirling effect on the inside, but a pretty standard crystal ball. But it floats.
Ooh.
Yep. As you pull out the floating crystal ball and this roiling storm effect inside, you see just the faintest image on the inside of the crystal ball of a black curled mustache, and you hear a voice speak out loud. Well, sir, it appears to be some kind of arcane key mechanism. You would have encountered this numerous times in your studies back at the libraries, and it kind of clicks in your head. Oh yeah, this is essentially like an arcane key card. You never necessarily had one assigned to you, but you had instructors when accessing certain rare materials and spell components and stuff that were kept up lock and key. Regular keys can be stolen, forged. Normal locks can be picked. You have someone here with you at the moment who's very skilled at this. Mundane locks are a huge risk. Arcane locks, however, are very hard to break unless you know how to break them. And with specifically an arcane key like this, they're even harder to break.
All right. Well, thanks, Jives.
My pleasure, sir.
I'm going to drop my spider. I'm gonna, with Mage Hand, I'm not getting close to that well. Just saying that.
Fair.
With Mage Hand, I'm going to drop my spider on the edge of the top rim of the well, and say, sorry, buddy, but I need you to peek down there. So why don't you go for that?
Okay. Your spider starts crawling around the inside of the well, heading downwards. It makes it about 10 feet down from the lip of the well, where you could, at least from the lip of the well. About 10 feet down. It suddenly gets pulled off of the wall and sucked downward at a very fast rate, before stopping about 6 inches above the ground and landing softly on a stone floor with an open chamber in front of it. I'm assuming you were warged into the spider while that was happening.
That was my plan, or at the very least, telepathically, hey, let me know if anything interesting happens, and then
It clicks in your head that one of those transmutation effects, based on what you've seen, you're familiar with most level 1, level 2 spells from your studies. And your more recent adventuring times, you've had to experience the effects of them a couple of times. That sense of almost vertigo and then stopping safely, very similar to how Featherfall feels.
Sure.
Which is a transmutation spell.
Okay, makes sense.
Hmm.
Well, ladies
But
and
he
gents,
lands safely in the next chamber.
yeah, I'm, as I'm able, I would sort of just be describing what I'm seeing through its eyes. Uh, I'd like it to just continue down exploring as in a general sense, assuming that this would be uh, a direction that we would probably need to go to investigate further, just so we kind of have an
Well,
idea of what we'd be landing in.
real quick, do spiders have dark vision?
Uh, Probably not. Loading.
Oh, it does have dark vision. Okay. So, what it sees... Yeah, 30 feet. Okay. What it sees in this little chamber is a wide room made of cobbled stone that lies mostly barren, with various lockers and chests around the edges of the walls. Parts of the room look like they're fairly well trodden, even from this angle. There's certain stones that look like they get stepped on more frequently, and they're a lot smoother, um, as if seeing frequent foot traffic. Though nothing but dust coats the walls and parts of the floor, the spider is able to very easily pick up the scent of blood and iron thick in the air. In the center of the room, in front of the only other door to this room, is a large eye that is made of blue crystal and wrapped in a steel frame that looks like it's bolted to the floor, uh, dully pointed in the direction of where the spider landed.
We go
I'd
check
rather not
it out,
risk
or
loss of the spider. So again, I would, in my own way, which is, Drost's like actual speech is. I'm not sure if anyone's watched The Walking Dead, but I imagine his speech similar to Eugene,
oh yeah.
like it's kind of obnoxiously high-minded use of words, but yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, I would explain that all and ask if this is the direction we're heading.
Hmm.
You have so many friends that you use.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately they didn't help uh, me fare any better against the torch. So, but yeah, picked up a couple of tricks along the way, items.
Huh. It's cool.
Well,
I say
what
we
do you
check
guys
it
do?
out.
All right.
Okay. Let's go.
Taylor
At this,
and group, you coming with?
Sure.
By the way, all of you, in the time it's taken to kind of investigate all of this, would have had the time to take a short rest. So, if there's any resources you get back, or if you want to roll any hit die, feel free.
Well, I'm definitely getting them spell slots back.
is that with as much stuff as I've been doing? Is that something that?
I'd say yeah, it was all fairly
Okay.
leisurely activity. Like you weren't being too strenuous. So,
Well, in that case, I'll study my spell book and do a little recovery here. Half your level rounded up.
Or I went a little crazy and rolled a third one that I did not need. Can I retro?
That's fine. You can take it back.
All
Yep.
right, thanks. I'm totally full now. I feel
Encore.
good.
Before
We've all been a little click happy before. So
What? No.
I had one spell slot left before I rested, so I just recast Hex. So I've got 7 more hours on it.
fair enough.
And I just parked it on Elvis, all Hex's intelligence.
Okay. Are you keeping Elvis on you somewhere? I'm assuming,
Yeah.
just like in your pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Noted for the future. Okay, so you guys all approach the well. What exactly are you? How are you doing this? You just jumping in? You climbing down with rope? What are you doing?
Well, you said the thing floats you to the bottom, right?
Yeah, I would have explained it as it.
I jumped in.
Yeah.
All right, you jump in.
for sure.
The well is wide enough that it can fit like several of you at a time. So you start jumping in. You fall for about 10 to 15 feet, free falling, and then feel yourself rapidly accelerated, almost like the wind lines in Yord. Very fast speed, and then suddenly abrupt stop about less than a foot off of the ground before a very soft landing in what looks to be
Superhero landing, for sure.
the stone chamber in front of you.
Ooh, it's pretty down here.
And real quick point of order, Taylor, would you have instructed Kisa to come with you and jump with you?
Sure.
Okay. Just needed to know. All right. So, but yes, you have this stone room. There's several chests scattered around these walls, going, into each section of the room that you're seeing. And then there's this big, dull blue crystal in a steel frame bolted to the ground, sitting about 10 feet away from the only door in the room.
Oh, what is that?
Is it lit down here, or is this all like?
It is
dark
not.
vision?
No, this is all dark vision for all of you.
Okay.
I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in this party has sad eyes, right?
No.
I got mine all.
That's what I thought.
I got mine magicked up, so.
Only
Yep.
in reality.
So yeah, no, you guys are all able to see the kind of shades of black and white. Even in the black and white, though, this crystal sitting in this frame still has a blue tinge to it.
I'm not touching that. Unless you want me to hit it with my hammer.
Yeah, probably better not be too hasty right now.
Finn, you get that close to it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Who still has the crystal? The crystal from upstairs.
If
I assume Drew still has it, right?
I mean, yeah. It
Or
would
did you
between
leave it up
me
there?
And again, me personally, I don't have the names, nor would Drost have the names straightened out between the two, Druid and Ranger. So, yeah. I mean, if you needed it to inspect it to read it, then you would have had it. Otherwise, I mean, I'd been giving it to you freely. But
Okay, so what I'm hearing is Tyler still has the crystal. Does that sound about right?
That sounds right to me.
All right, Finn, you walk up to that crystal, and as soon as you get within 5-10 feet of it, the crystal itself lights up bright blue, almost blinds all of you guys with dark vision, but your eyes very quickly adjust, and a blue light scans over to you, Finn, and then scans over to Tez, and then it scans over to Tyler, who's just in range. And as it scans Tyler, it stops scanning, flashes green, and the door behind it opens.
Ooh.
Cool.
I really
right.
liked you.
I
Is it
guess
like
so.
still? Is it still lit up, or is it dark?
The crystal, it's now dull. The color has dulled a little bit, but it's lit up green at the moment. And then it starts slowly flashing green. And then the flashing gets a little quicker.
oh shit! I was
And
about
then
to
the
ask
light
if you want to do
Let's
anything
go.
about these chests, but we might
And
be
the
on
light
timer.
and the light on the crystal goes dark and the door closes.
Oh, son of a bitch.
What happened?
I'll like take the crystal out and just kind of wave it around.
All right, you get closer, holding the crystal out again. The crystal lights up, starts scanning all of you nearby, and as soon as it gets to you again, holding the crystal out, very specifically, the light goes from you to the crystal in your hand, and then it lights up green again, and the door opens.
Okay,
And you gave it a
so
count last time.
All right.
It was 30 seconds between when the door opens and then closes.
Oh.
All right. Well, we should
Alright.
probably go through as a group.
Are we clear with the rest of this room that we're in right now before we head in this room?
Right. Yeah.
I
we're
will point out,
probably-
you guys have not figured out the mechanic for this. It can be opened multiple times. If you want to take your time and search the room, you can.
Yeah, I'd rather
Right.
know what's around
when
us.
we, could anyone see the same crystal on the other side of this door while it was open?
While the door's open, yeah. Inside that room, you're able to get just a very quick look inside. No signs of that crystal eye on the other side of this.
Okay, so
In fact, it looks like just a plain store. It looks like a plain stone room. You can very clearly see another door on the other side of that that is currently closed, but no similar crystal on the other side.
All right, guys.
You'd have to investigate the other room a little more.
We've got no guarantees that we're coming back out of this door once we go through it. So
Is the door still open?
At this moment, it is.
I'll toss Elvis through and warg into him and let him run around the room exploring.
Okay. You toss him in there. Anyone else doing anything involving the door before it closes?
Not involving the door, but I was going to say, maybe before we go in there, there was a key on one of the guys upstairs. Maybe there's a key on another guy? Just thought about that.
I didn't get any pings of the only way I found the key was
you didn't get anything
was
on him.
with the magic, so I didn't get any pings off of the other people as
Okay.
I walked through. So presumably this is the only one.
Okay, just thought I might check.
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, yeah, more keys is better.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably the dude that signed everybody in.
Yeah, you're right. Did you say?
All right. So, but with that, as you throw Elvis in there and have this discussion, the door eventually comes to a close again. What are you guys doing in this still before reactivating the door?
Is there anything north or south?
There are numerous little like footlockers almost scattered around along the walls in each corner. So this is very much like an entry space. It looks like just basic storage for people to throw some stuff in before they go in further.
Do a quick check through, see if there's anything important in those lockers, maybe.
Okay. Anybody who wants to can go ahead and make an investigation check.
If my detect magic has worn
I'm
off,
getting better,
I'm
guys.
Considering.
Yeah. By this point, detect magic would have faded away.
Oh, I'm good at this.
All right. So what do we got? We have a dirty 1, not a natural 1. 11, 13, 9s. Okay. As you guys start going through the lockers, and there's not a lot in here. It's mostly just clothing, some extra sets of shoes, socks, outfits. A couple of you find these like big hooded red robes, and you kind of pull them up. And Tez, you kind of look over. I need you to roll a history check for me real quick as you see these robes held up.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
You're gonna love this. I am actually proficient.
I know you are. 7.
Oh,
Those robes are a nice color.
these are a nice color. I'm going to keep one.
They're almost like blood red too. It's kind of cool.
Oh. Would they fit me? Would one of them fit me?
They do seem fairly plush and stretchy. One of them might fit you.
Is anybody watching me look through this? Look at
I'm
this
probably
thing.
paying attention to whatever Elvis is seeing, right?
I probably glanced at him when he said, "These are a nice color." That's about it.
I'm gonna try it on.
You pull your weapons off so that you're able to still access them, and you pull the robe on. Go ahead and give me one more history check as you pull this thing on.
Okay. I know a lot about history.
What the hell is going on with the double numbers tonight?
I don't know, but I love it. Yeah, this is a damn comfy robe. Like, it's got plenty of room in here. Yeah, this is like a sleeping robe. It is nice.
I'm gonna roll it up. I'm gonna put it in my pack.
There you go. Put fancy blood robe in your inventory. Finn, you are warped into Elvis at the moment. So what Elvis sees is he's in a stone chamber. It is a very simple, four-sided, 4 doors, one in each side of the room. All the other 3 doors that you didn't come through have there's no signs, like I said, there's no signs of that crystal eye, anything like that. However, in the door itself is a slot, like a cylindrical opening in the door itself. And as he kind of looks around, you also see there's a small, right above the door that he entered from, is a small blue crystal mounted in the door frame as well.
Okay.
So not visible at first glance, but if you were coming towards that door as if you were heading out, you would definitely see it. Very
I'm
obviously.
pretty sure we can get out if we get in this other room.
Oh,
I'll
good.
throw a thumb up in the air.
Okay. We should be good then.
Tez, what are you
All
stuffing
right.
in your bag?
What? This is a comfortable robe.
How
I may sleep
comfortable?
in it. It's very comfortable, but
No shit.
On-
You got?
I
Is there
thought
one of my
Jerry-
size?
I thought Jerry might like it. I think so. Was there another one?
You guys found like a dozen of them. They're all over the place in there.
Finn, there are many of them. You should try one on.
I'll check it out.
It's pretty
Okay, are
soft.
these really-
He's not lying. Yeah, they
Oh,
are
no shit.
remarkably soft.
Ooh, this thing really breathes.
I want one.
Like, yeah, very like nice and pliable. Anyone who wants a fancy blood robe, you feel free to mark that in your inventory. But yeah, it's very soft material, but somehow still like sturdy. Like you start pulling at it a little bit to see, it holds its shape pretty well.
These are of great quality.
I'll grab one.
All right, you guys all grab a free robe as Tyler once again pulls out the security chief crystal and walks towards the eye. The eye once again scans and finds the crystal, flashes green, and the door opens up.
Look, guys, we're
Now, I'm going to do something a
Yeah.
little different. Yeah, you guys are
Let's all
essentially
throw our
cultists now.
ropes
Welcome. We're going to do something a little differently here because I don't normally do this for exploration phases, but I want everybody to go ahead and select your token and roll initiative.
Oh.
Because as you've clearly picked up, there is a sort of time-sensitive mechanic to this.
Oh, I have advantage. Thank
Yeah,
God.
I was going to say, you have advantage on initiative from what I
There
recall.
we go. Yes.
All right. Yeah, that's looking better. Between Taylor and Finn, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that Taylor probably has higher dex.
Dex of 20.
Yep, he's got me beat.
All right. Then, yeah. With that, the door is currently open, and we're going to start. This is going to be... I'm not expecting you guys to do combat spells or anything like that. I'm not even saying that there might be combat in this. But because there's a time mechanic to it, you guys are going to be on the clock with every action you do. So,
Oh.
Tez, you're first to act, and the door is open. What would you like to do?
I'm running in.
All right. You run in.
I'm also
You were met.
standing like right by the door. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I run in.
Yeah, so you run in, you see it is just a stone room, 4-sided, 4 doors, one that you just came through, obviously. Giving it a quick glance, you see the crystal that Finn had pointed out right above the door you came in, very similar to the one that you passed by, although significantly smaller and hidden. The other 3 doors are all sealed at the moment and have this cylindrical like slot in the door itself.
It looks
Okay.
like about the same size as that crystal rod, right?
Roughly the same size, yeah.
I would have told everybody that too. I'm pretty sure that's the key.
Okay, so this is technically a turn for me, right?
Yeah. I'm
Alright,
also
so-
going to be doing because we're doing an exploration initiative thing, I'm also going to do this weird thing that normally you don't get in combat, which is if you want to hold your full turn or hold your movement, specifically movement, you can do that without wasting an action or reaction or anything. Things are a little wonky because we're doing initiative and exploration, but I'm going to be a little lenient with that. So if you get in here and you want, like, you still have like 20-something movement, and you want to hold on to that till one of the doors opens or something, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, so just to make it clear, so once I'm in here, all the doors are closed, right?
Once you're in here, the door behind you is still open.
Yeah,
you guys have timed that out. It's about 30 seconds, but the other 3 doors, there's one here to the south, one to the west, and one to the north. All 3 of those are currently sealed.
Okay, then for my action, I will use my action. I'm going to kneel down, and I'm just going to hold the help action. Can I do that?
You can absolutely do that.
All right, so that way, if somebody towards the end's having trouble or something, actually, just in general, if somebody's having trouble when this door's closing, I'll be able to win advantage.
And yeah, since we're not in like actual combat at the moment, just initiative for exploration. Yeah, I'm going to leave the trigger very open. You know, if someone is needing assistance with something, you are ready to help them.
Okay, cool. I feel you now. All right.
So
sounds good.
Okay, that brings us to Taylor.
I will head in.
Okay. I'm assuming Keese is going with you as well.
Yes.
All right, you enter the chamber. Same thing. Stone room, 3 closed doors at the moment that look like you can fit a key in each one of the doors.
And that's it for my turn.
Okay. Finn, it's your turn. You have Elvis right in front of you.
Yep. Same thing. Cruise into the room, have Elvis hop back up on my shoulders.
Okay. Easily enough.
Wait for Tyler to get here with the key.
It's not lost on me the irony that the person with the key is almost dead last initiative.
That's perfect.
Drost, I'm assuming you're joining them?
I am following the group.
All right. You head in there as well. Tyler.
It's time to go in.
Okay. It is time to go in. You are now in the room, and you see 3 doors, each one of them with a slot in the door itself that looks like it can fit a key that you have on you. What would you like? Are you doing anything other than that, or?
I'm just like, where are we going? And then I'm not doing anything actively though.
Pick a door.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know if it matters which door.
Well, you've got 3 choices.
Are they all identical in?
That is a good question. Anyone who wants can go ahead and roll a perception check. I'd say excluding Kendall, unfortunately, since Garuk has is. You know what? No, screw it. For the purpose of this, yeah. On Garuk's initiative, we'll move in there. Garuk, if you also want to roll perception.
I rolled in for some real advantage.
I'm playing a little fast and loose with initiative in this, so it's more just to keep you guys like cognizant of the time aspect of the mechanic. So. All right, 11, 25, 16, 5, 6, 18. That is across the board. All right. Finn, actually, anyone who rolled above a 10. So Tez and Drost don't necessarily notice it. Drost, you're like, you kind of rushed in there to catch up with everybody, and you're just like, okay, whoa, we're in here already. This is fast. You also took the time to scoop up your spider, so, not as observant. Tez, you're still like wearing your robe, and you're just like, holy shit. This
100%.
Like, you are... Yeah, you're 100% right now a gym bro that just found a full new gym outfit that is amazing, and you can't stop talking about it. Everybody else, because you all rolled a 10. The doors to the north and the doors to the south look identical. The door to the west is significantly thicker. and made of a different material. Looks like a much like sturdier stone. Not necessarily granite or anything like that, but definitely not like the basic cobblestone you're seeing a lot of these doors out of.
Alright.
Hmm.
I vote
I would
west.
have loved to cast Detect Magic again as a ritual. Do we? Okay, so the whole turn order and initiative and stuff like that we're doing to track. Do we get the sense of being pressed for time in any way, other than the fact that obviously, the door opened a little bit?
Other than
And
the
for
mechanic for the door,
more time?
at the moment you have not encountered anything that makes you seem or makes you think that this is time pressing or anything like that. The time pressing is more just the door mechanic, as you kind of figured out that with how the door operates essentially. Go ahead and roll. Well, no, we'll leave that for
No,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Other than
At the moment,
only
yeah.
reason,
Other than the door, you have no other sense that time is a factor
Sure.
other
Yeah.
than the door.
The only reason I asked was that I would say to the group like, okay, like I'm sure you guys have been through some shit too. I've been in multiple ruins and stuff like that, and usually, and I've made the mistake of not taking the time to use all of my resources to their fullest. So unless anyone has anywhere to be, I'd like to cast that same spell again. It'll take me a little bit of time, but it might at least alert us to magical hazards.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Okay.
Obviously, it's small and claustrophobic, so if anyone doesn't want to. But anyways, yeah. So I would attempt to take the requisite time to get detect magic up again.
That's fine. We're back up at the top of initiative, so yeah, if everyone's cool with him taking the ritual time for it, if there's anything else you guys are wanting to do while you wait for that to complete, now is the time. Anything prep spell-wise you want to cast?
Smoke a joint.
Pet my robe.
It's a very soft robe.
Yes.
It takes me a little bit longer to cast this time as I'm admiring Tez in his robes.
Oh.
And also probably the joint being lit up in a small room, because eventually that door closes, and you are definitely in a nearly airtight room, with someone smoking it up.
Yeah. Tyler can pop that door open and air this place out.
Yeah, I'll.
Yeah, about
Well, he's
halfway
got
through his ritual time, yeah, you go over there and you wave the crystal by the eye, and it just pops open again.
Yeah.
Just do
Yeah,
it every
I
once
like
in a while. It creates almost like a fan effect.
Guy, but...
This robe is making me sleepy.
But eventually, yeah, you have detect magic up again. As you start looking over the room, all four doors and the crystal eye here in the room all give off that same abjuration effect.
Sure.
But now, time's a little wobbly right now because none of the doors are open. Crystal holder, what are you doing with the door or with your key?
I mean, none of the doors are giving off any sort of magic to.
It's all the
Gross,
same
right?
abjuration effect. It's all the same abjuration effect that comes from the crystal and the other door. So, you get the sense it's all tied.
Yeah, I would.
Sorry,
I
you
would.
guys. I'm gonna go ahead and open this door to our west here.
All right.
You get the key, so it's your call.
Yeah, you take the
Right.
key, slot the crystal into the slot, and you stop and you wait. And you're expecting the door to open. And then eventually you see 3 lights on the door here in front of you. The left light is red. The light on the right is also red. And the one in the middle flashes green. And you hear a voice ring out from the door itself. There is... One second. I should have put this in bold for me to find easier. Okay. Research facility lockdown in progress. Central experimentation chamber in use. Staff must contact team leads to lift lockdown.
We can't even get in.
Shit.
Well, probably, the right light is for the right door and same for the left door, hopefully. So maybe we try the other doors and see what we can find.
Agreed.
Yeah, because you said
Yeah,
what?
I'll go to the
Red
south
and a
door.
green.
Yeah, left and right were both red. Middle of light was green. Which eventually, as you pull the crystal out, the light eventually flashes red, and then the lights go dim
Yeah,
and
maybe
disappear.
there's a switch we need to flip in each room or each direction.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I'll go to
Having
the
figured
south
that
door.
out, which you're going to the south door and you slot the crystal in?
Yep.
Do you
Okay.
mind?
You slot. Go ahead.
Do you mind? Is it easy to copy paste that? What that door said about research
Yeah.
facility, whatnot.
Yep. One moment here. Throw it in roll 20.
Thank you.
All right. You slot the crystal into the south door, and you see a single green light light up. And as you pull the crystal out, the door opens up. And we are back in initiative order as the door is open at the moment. Tez, what would you like to do?
Oh.
For the record, I'm sorry, no, don't mean to cut you off. Before I start this, Tyler, feel free if at any point you don't want to be the crystal holder, you can pass the crystal around. Object interactions are always free. So, if at any point you're like, nope, someone else do it, you can just relay that shit over to someone. No action needed.
All right.
But, just so that's in the air. Tez.
I'll go ahead and walk through. It's the south door, right?
Yep, it is the south door.
Okay.
You go and you walk through.
And I'll just wait right there. Well, I guess I'll wait to see what I hear.
Yeah. For some reason, my reveal is being a little wonky. And not wanting to always reveal stuff. There we go. That should be a bit better. So, first room that you see in here is... Where are my notes? Because I had it written differently. There we go. The locked door opens to reveal a large kitchen and prep space with a central cauldron sitting over a dwindling fire. The smell of strong, savory stew wafts through the air, only slightly tinged with the smell of blood on the air that is in this entire facility.
Ooh, it smells like blood and stew.
I'm just gonna stay in here alert while everybody piles in.
Okay.
Watch.
Ready? Yeah. Yep. Keeping an eye out. Cool.
Yep.
Taylor.
I will go through.
Okay. You head in. You see what looks like a kitchen. This, oddly enough, this kitchen feels a little more homey than the stairs.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Finn.
Yeah, I'll pop in the room, look around. You said it's like lit, like it's a working kitchen, right?
Yeah. The fire. In fact, the fire with that pot of stew is actually still lit at the moment. It's starting to go out, but
Okay.
it up until not that long ago, it was still a roaring fire.
Is this a door down here?
Yeah. So you can see there's a door over to the east and a door
Yeah.
to the west.
Is this door though? Does it have like a key lock on it, or is it just like a door?
From what you can see, it looks like just a door. There is no slot for the crystal on this one.
No, open it.
Okay,
Cool.
you open it up. Go ahead and give me a perception check once you enter in here.
Okay.
22. You find what looks to be just a simple storeroom lying on the other side of this door. It's filled with shelves, racks of what look like... closer to the door, it looks like it's kitchen supplies, food, things like that. Ingredients made to, make whatever's needed. And you start going a little farther back and peering, and then you start seeing some weird shit. And you realize, oh, this is not just food, this is also like alchemical, like herbs, arcane components, stuff like that. So this is kind of a catch-all shit, like storeroom that they're just throwing stuff into. You also find posted on the door, right where you just came in, is what looks like a recipe. The title of the recipe is Restoration Stew, and looking over the ingredients list, it looks like most of the items are checked off except for one that says Elemental Salt.
Yeah. Do I see any elemental salt in the room?
You glance around. I'll say with that perception check, you glance around. You do not see any signs of elemental salt in the storeroom.
I'll hang on to the receipt. Pop
Okay.
back out. That's probably about all my movement, so I'll get about
Yep.
back to the doorway. Storeroom,
All right.
bunch of shit in here if someone wants to take a look.
Drost, you hear that?
Okay, so just two things. When we first came down back at the bottom of the well, you said there was dust on the ground. Were there lots of footprints? Does it look like there was much traffic in here? Obvious.
It looks like there were some definite like areas where a lot of foot traffic was. Dust. There's not a lot of dust at the moment, other than a straight beeline from the door to the bottom of the well.
Gotcha.
Most of the dust is on
So,
the
yes.
like edges of the room, like towards where the lockers and stuff were. It looks like those haven't been touched in a hot minute. The path leading straight towards the door looked like it had been recently stepped on.
Sure. Okay, so I would have reacted to what the middle door said. Central experimentation chamber in use. Curious that it's being locked down, probably because it's in use. I wonder what they're doing in there and who's doing it. But I would
What?
move. I'll pop in the room. That's probably more than my 30 feet.
And we're playing loose with it.
Right. Yep. And just kind of taking it all in and seeing if I notice, just looking left and right, back,
So,
whatever.
yeah, you have, because
If
you
I
have
see
detect
any
magic up.
aura. Yeah, any auras of magic.
You can peek through the door that Finn's standing in, and you definitely get a light arcane sense through there. Just a couple objects. He hollered out that there were like some arcane supplies in there, so that kind of checks out. Like nothing strong coming from there, but definitely like some things that have a little bit of inherent magic. The potion in front of you has a very strong magical essence to it. However, you're not able to detect what school of magic. It looks like there's a couple of different magical components inside this stew. And then there's one other one you get on that desk right there behind you. What looks to be almost like a very large glass object with like a metal top with a bunch of holes poked into it, with a sense of evocation from it.
Well, I would start with the stew and see if I can, notice. You said I can't notice the school of magic coming in from the stew, but it's just
No,
strong
it's
aura?
kind of the same sense you get off of when you're looking at like a potion. It reads as magical, but it doesn't necessarily read as a specific magic school because there's multiple magical ingredients acting at once.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of going to be the group's magic detector. I'll be like, okay, strong, undetermined aura here, and point, to the glass with the top with holes poked in it. We've got some destruction magic over there, and I'd just make my way towards Finn.
Hey, did the thing with the holes
With-
poked in it look like salt?
It did look like salt.
Probably. Oh, it did.
It did look like salt. There's some kind.
Ooh.
It's filled up very, very like towards the top, but as you kind of like you stop as he says
the
this, and you
holes
kind of look
poking.
back and you like drop a
Okay.
little. Yeah, and it clicks in your head. That's a fucking salt shaker. And as you kind of look at it from a different angle, and the light catches it slightly different, and whatever's inside that shaker changes color depending on like almost prismatically as you move around. So you get the sense it might be the elemental salt.
Not having
I think
clue
that's,
why he's asking, I'd be like, yeah, you need to salt your pork or something?
No. Oh, my girl drank first. No, I think that stew is restoration stew. It needs the salt. I got the recipe. I'll hold it up, show it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, you look at this, it reads very much like a potion recipe. The only thing, and all of them at the moment, you can see there's actually copies of this recipe kind of stacked on each other, like it gets used every day. Uh, on the current one, every ingredient is checked off except for elemental salt.
Yeah. Well, looks like we might be able to finish whatever someone started if we, you know, think that that's a good idea. And that's probably it for my turn. I might make my
Okay.
way towards the storeroom and poke around some of the ingredients in there, but that might be next turn.
Yeah, that would be. Tyler, going in?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to move Elvis over here with you, Finn, real quick. Tyler, as you enter in, you can see there's the door to the storeroom that Finn's standing in, and then another door west that has the same slot on the door as your that you'd previously activated.
All right. Then I'm just gonna wait to see what happens in here.
Okay. Karuk.
Me too.
Well, I see he pinged, so he's grabbing his token. Yep, he walks in. What you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and wait, see what happens.
You sit there and wait. Now,
Hello.
this is gonna where things get a little wonky again. Are you guys planning on, like, what is the group consensus here? What are you guys doing next?
I'm watching these guys with this salt shit. I'm just watching them. Petting
Well, what's
my
up with
rook.
this? What's up with this other door? Is it just a door, or is it like a magic door?
It is another
It's
one of the
got
locked
a-
doors.
it's
There
got
is
a
a slot.
slot.
Yeah, there's a slot with a crystal in it.
Okay. Well, just want to keep going. I mean, I guess Dross looks like he's itching to fucking root through this closet. So
I'm gonna take a glance to see if there was anything of value that, you know, to me, materials wise, but that won't take long.
Yeah, I'm gonna say go ahead and roll an investigation check while you're in there, and we're gonna play a little loose with this again as you guys are kind of congregating, waiting to move on to the next room. The door that was right behind you closes. And timing it out, you recognize that while the main door had a 30-second wait before it closed, this one is on a much shorter time frame. It is now on 12 seconds for the smaller doors.
Ooh.
and it has a slot too, right? Like on the inside.
Yeah, there is a slot on the inside. 16. Going through the room, you find some basic foodstuffs, and then towards the back, you start finding the herbs, arcane ingredients, alchemical supplies. Basically, anything for any material components you might need for a spell of 4th level or lower, you can find here. So, if there's anything that you didn't necessarily, I know I kind of always play a little loose with material components, but I'll say if you want to mark down 25 gold. Just as, you find these spell components that you can use and substitute instead of, anything that you've brought.
Sure, instead of the named, because I've got my shit for the random.
I normally just have it if there's a named component that costs gold, you just mark off the gold and say you bought it.
Sure.
In this case, we'll say about 25 gold worth. Go and just add that, and we'll keep to that same thing. But yeah, there's a plethora of supplies in here.
Sure, yeah, I'll just go through and grab the ones that I, obviously, are stuff that I have used occasionally.
Right. Then yeah, you are fully stocked up, and anyone else who requires any material components can easily get stocked up as well. But you're still here in the room. 2 locked doors now, and the one's closed behind you. A very lightly simmering thing of stew with the fire going out soon, and a thing of elemental salt. What would you like to do?
Oh, fire going out soon. We might need the fire to make this stuff work.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah, I just put it in.
sticks.
Should we just
Should we make restoration stew?
mix up this batch and see what it does?
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm hungry.
All right.
Just because I'm curious.
Me too.
I could eat.
Who goes to pick up the elemental salt shaker?
If I can, as I'm paranoid about everything, I would stand back and just use Mage Hand to do it. Well,
Okay.
attempt to
You-
do that as anyways.
Yeah, you can. You pick it up with Mage Hand because it's not heavy, and as soon as it gets picked up, it floats towards the stew because there's nothing booby trapped to it. It's just a salt shaker. You do see as your Mage Hand slowly turns it as it gets to the stew, though. On the back side of it that you weren't able to see because it's completely filled up, there is a label that says elemental salt.
Finn, how many shakes to say?
I'll read the recipe. Does it say how much?
It says salt to taste, elemental salt to taste.
I don't know. Like some.
Oh,
Like less is
Your favorite
more.
part of recipes.
that sounds just like you.
I guess I'd slowly start. So knowing that there's evocation magic in this, I would be cautious, but I would start couple 2-3 shakes at a time and see if anything happens. So they say
Okay.
you gotta stir it or something, or
I'll just
After
hand
the
them the
fourth
recipe.
shake, there's a flash of light in the room, and the flames for the fire roar back to life. The stew immediately hits a boil again, and you're all met with a very, very pleasant smell of a stew that seems like it's done.
That smells great.
oh man.
The real question is, who wants to take the first sip?
I'll do it. I'm not even thinking
I mean,
about
we
it.
all
This
knew
shit's-
you were going to do it. So.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, you go to
yeah.
take the first sip. Go ahead and give me just a Constitution check.
Just a little one. Just a little
Yeah, just
constitution check.
just a little. Actually,
Okay.
we'll make it a save. We'll make it a save because
A quick
everyone's
little
bonuses for
check.
saves are
Quick little
higher.
con save.
So,
I'm
yeah,
not
just a
bad
little,
at
just a little
those.
con save. Just a
Not
little
bad
con
at
save.
that. Oh,
Tez, are
Boy.
you missing any hit points right now?
I'm not because
Okay.
I used my
Yeah, you
hit
took
dice.
a long rest. Are you missing any other? Are you missing any other resources that reset on?
I'm missing a rage.
Go ahead and put that rage back. Put all of your hit die back,
Ooh.
and take
Ooh.
10 temporary HP.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
As
Oh.
the restoration stew fully revitalizes you, you feel like you just woke up after the best sleep of your life.
I feel amazing. You should all try this.
Alright.
Yeah,
Sure, why not?
time to eat.
Well,
All right,
obviously.
everybody, roll me a Constitution save, please.
Oh shit. Save.
We all know how good I do with this.
Somebody's
There
gonna
we
get
go.
it. Oh, look at that. Damn. Rook, it's good, isn't it?
It's delicious.
Mm.
Only one of you failed.
Oh
'cause
god.
It is a stupidly low DC.
And yet,
I wonder who that was.
Finn, as you take a sip of this, it tastes like cilantro. Like really nasty ass cilantro. Like, yeah, it ain't for you. You don't. There's something on your tongue that just leaves a really like ick feeling. The rest of you get the full benefits of a long rest and 10 temporary HP.
Nice.
So
Finn,
any
what's
spell
wrong?
slots you're missing, any long rest resources you're missing, any HP, any hit die, anything comes back, and then 10 temp HP.
Oh, y'all think that was good?
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah?
Weirdos. Underwhelming.
Don't yuck my yum.
You
No, I mean,
should
do you? Just did
you
not
should measure the salt next time.
something. I don't know. Whatever.
So out of character and from a very meta perspective, just not that anyone else didn't fail or failed to notice this, but our GM just very graciously gave us a full rest. So
Yeah, I'm scared.
buckle up.
With the 10 temporary hit points are the real concern.
Yeah.
Like,
What you guys are talking about? Don't look gift HP in the mouth.
Right?
You know, it's
My
not like
video
I had
game
2 months
knowledge
to prep this
says
session.
otherwise.
I didn't have 2 months to plan.
Look, we've all played those games
No.
where they give you health back right before a boss fight. Come on.
Uh-huh.
No, this is the dirt cheap potion merchant right before a big giant iron door.
yep.
But you guys, most of you guys feel very, very good about your lives right now. But there are still 2 locked doors. So
I for sure got in my bag of shit, I've for sure got empty vials and jars and stuff like that. I'm just gonna try to ladle some into a jar and stopper it up. And because shit, this is valuable. Not expecting it to work fully, but
Yeah, I thought about
guys
that
gotta
too.
try.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
anyone who has a vial can roll a d4. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong mechanic. D6. D6. That's my bad. I was looking ahead of my notes.
Boom.
6, okay.
That's my rolls for you guys.
All right. Drost, well, actually, anyone here. I don't know if Drost is or not, but is anyone here trained in alchemical?
I actually am, which is why I argued that I would have
Yep, that's why you would.
that junk on me.
Yeah. So you bottle some up, and you see Taylor bottle some up too. You're not sure what it is, but you have a relative experience with alchemical supplies from studying, and have an idea of like the potency of things and when things start to lose some of their effects. You get the sense that the vial that you collected here it'll last about an hour before it loses its effects.
Okay.
The vial Taylor collected, it's going to last about 10 minutes.
Sure. All right. Well, we're on the clock with this stuff, guys.
But you both have some bottled restoration stew. Somehow managing to fit some of the abyssal potatoes into the tubes. But, Crystal Holder, which way you going?
Time to go west.
All right. You slot the crystal into the door. You see a single green light once again flash on the... Pull the crystal out, the door opens up. In this room, make sure... Because reveal area is being a little wonky. I got to do it a couple times. There we go. All right. We're back in initiative. Now, we're getting a little more comfortable. I'm getting a little more comfortable with this now. I'm assuming everyone, as soon as the door opens, would just move into the room on their turn, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, feel free to go ahead of this now that you're aware that I can get to do it relatively quick. So, you move in there on your turns, and what you see there is. Sorry, it's scrolling slightly. There it is. A musty room dimly lit by a dying candle lies on this side of the locked door. The smell of blood and fecal matter lies heavy on the air, as the room was airtight before you opened the door.
Yeah.
Various tables and couches are scattered around, as this room clearly served as some kind of community hub, with certain books that look like they are more for fiction and entertainment than necessarily like arcane journals or anything. At the far end of the room, though, is a single uneaten corpse, sitting up, wearing blood-red robes, with a clear dark spot in the center of its chest. Tez, I need you to roll me a history check again.
Did you say uneaten corpse?
Uneaten corpse, as opposed to the ones that upstairs that were munched
Okay.
on.
It's like, all right. Oh, I'm smart.
Wow.
It's another one of those fucking fancy-ass robes.
That's a good-looking robe.
I'm gonna.
And you
leave
know,
this
and you kind of notice it too. The color of the robe, unless if it wasn't actively like wet in that spot, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference.
Oh,
Like the blood, like that blood, it's very clearly like a blood spot in the center of this guy's chest, and it looks wet. But you're pretty sure that if it wasn't wet, you would not be able to tell. It is that they got the color spot on with this one somehow.
perfect blood color. Okay.
You also see, all of you also see, a door to the north.
Oh, it smells like poop in here.
I'm assuming that's the dead guy, right?
More than likely.
We should.
So, quick run through of initiative. Is anyone doing? What are you guys doing? So.
I mean, this room's funky and there's nothing really jumping out that looks appealing. I just wait for Tyler to pop the door.
Yeah, I'd go pop the door on mine.
Yeah, other than just eyeing things over, looking for auras.
Yeah, no, you still have detect magic up. That's right. You get. Oh crap. You get 2 auras. In fact. One is another abjuration aura. One that you recognize because your friend Tyler is holding a crystal with that same aura, coming from the corpse. Coming, in fact, from the left side pocket of the corpse.
All right, I would. Yeah,
But
looks like there's another one of those
aura.
crystals
There's another
in that
aura
pot.
coming from that body.
Someone want to grab it?
There's another aura coming from the body, though, Drost, and that one is definitely evocation.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
there is, yeah. You can almost, in fact, you almost see it like a web wrapped around this body. An evocation rune.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. No, don't. Okay. So there's probably a crystal on there, but it's probably trapped or some sort of explosive magic around that body. So we're gonna have to figure that one out.
Isn't magic kind of your jam?
Uh,
I don't know, Grook, you're shifty, you magic-y trap. Unlock, pick thing. You go with traps.
You do have experience with mundane traps, and you know how to set off magical traps. And possibly avoid the effects of them. Whether that's the same as getting rid of a trap is up for debate.
I guess, I mean, again, old broken record, but with Mage Hand, I would suggest to everyone to stand back, and I've got a pretty decent range on Mage Hand. So, taking from around the corner, maybe, with my head poking around the corner, sort of, I would use Mage Hand to see if I could deftly poke the crystal out of there.
Now, I will remind you, the door behind you leading back into the kitchen is on a 12-second timer.
Hey, it's closed.
It is closed at the moment. You can reopen it, however. You have the mechanism for reopening the door and all getting in. I will also remind you that technically you could maneuver Mage Hand to be right there and get ready to maybe set off the rune or try to manipulate this. And you don't have to necessarily see it to finish it.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, it would probably be obvious that, either... All right, well, how about this? How about we go back to the kitchen room and just wait for the door to close, and then I flick the guy's chest, hopefully, exploding whatever explosion, and then just right before the door closes. This is to the group. Anybody got any good ideas for better idea?
I mean, if Mage Hand will do it, do we have to get that far back? I mean, is it gonna I guess you don't know what kind of trap
I
it is.
I know that it's a evocation, explosive, fire, lightning, whatever. Range is hard to tell.
Oh, yeah. And I guess we just all
I mean,
could go back in the.
We've got some extra stew to, if we
Is
want
this a
to
big? Is this a big heavy table?
It is a big heavy table, yes.
Let's just tip that big pig fucker over. We can all get behind it, and then just do your thing. Like,
Yeah.
move it back as far away as possible from where the dead body is, and then just tip the table over outside, and just all
Sure, yeah.
fucking duck down behind it, and then you can just do it from there, right?
Yeah,
That sounds good to me.
I'm going to place myself as far away and with as much physical in between me and that body as possible. But I'm up for anything anybody else wants to do. That's cool with me. So
Yeah. So
let's-
whatever, just move the table as far away
Execute.
as possible from the body and
Yep.
fire in the
Execute
hole.
plan A.
Okay.
You guys all get behind cover, and Gross, you set it off.
Are you grabbing it? Because I got mage hand too. So
Maybe want to both try. One of us trigger it, and the other try and. Why don't I try and grab it because I can see it with aura, and then if you just try and disturb the body a little bit, trigger the trap.
yep. Yeah, you grab it, and when you get it ready to pull it clear, let me know, and I'll push the body the other way.
All right, yeah. I would give you the go ahead whenever when I'm ready.
As soon as he gets me the signal, I'll nudge the body with mage hand.
You nudge the body with mage hand. All of you in cover hear a loud pop and almost a smashing noise, and then you hear the sound of gas being emitted,
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
and
Open
see
the door. Get
a
out.
green cloud.
Yep.
You see a green cloud flooding towards you. I need everybody in the room, which all of you except Elvis apparently token. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
No.
God damn it.
Yep,
My
on
robe
par
is
for the
so
night.
soft. Motherfucker.
Sorry, I had to step away from my computer really quick. Corey, do you mind rolling that for me? Is that?
Yep.
You-
No
you-
problem. I can do
So how instantaneous was that? Like gas cloud?
within 6 seconds.
Okay.
Almost immediately. It was an explosive, almost like a smoke bomb, really. Like
For propulsion.
as soon as it went off, the what would have been shrapnel was just gas rapidly expanding to fill the chamber. Constitution save. Okay, so good news. Most of you did fairly well on that. So the two of you that didn't, you take. There we go. You take 8 points of poison damage,
Ooh.
and you are currently poisoned.
Ooh. I don't
Oof.
feel good. Ugh.
But I can't actually say. Actually, I can say this because I know Tez has the experience with it. Tez, this is almost like the feeling of when you have a little too much to drink, less than like being full on racked with like food poisoning or something. You get the sense this is going to wear off eventually.
Okay. I feel a little yucky, but it should pass.
Yeah, same with you, Taylor. This is more akin to your stomach really not feeling good. So yeah, you guys are poisoned for the next 10 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
But you're still also currently trapped in this room with the poison gas, I should remind you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, as I said,
to get out
open
of
the door
here.
and get out of this room.
Yeah, I'd open the door back to the kitchen.
alright, you open the door back to the kitchen and you all flood back in, breathing the clean, fresh air populated by the scent of the restoration stew.
And have
Uh, You can if you want. At this point, it won't double. You won't double up your or depending on how much you have, it won't double up your temp HP, but it will restore your poison condition.
Okay, then I'll
There
definitely
you
have
go.
some.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, that's right. There's always that risk.
Finally.
Yeah, you're fine. The temp HP is gone, but the poison effect goes away. This is like the best hangover cure you've ever had.
I still have 2 hit points left, or is it just got that gone too?
No, you still have the 2. Yeah, you just don't. You don't get the 10 to replace.
I don't
it.
regenerate. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Then they don't come back, unfortunately. So.
Okay,
But yeah, you guys are back.
Next time, let's
safe
trust
in
our
the,
instincts to make sure we exit the room just in case.
Yeah, that's
In
all right.
case we run into
Leave it there.
something like that.
It was stinky.
Just a bit. Eventually, that door closes again, though, and can be reopened if desired.
I mean, we want to go back up the other way, give that room some time to air out.
Yeah, actually,
It'd be
that's
good.
not a bad
Probably
idea.
smart.
I think so.
Okay. Easily enough, you guys are able to head back into the stone room, that central chamber. And I'm guessing you're slotting the key into the north door?
Yep.
All right, you slot the key, same as before. Single green light flashes, you pull the key out, and the door opens, revealing... Oh, was there an interjection?
No, sorry, that was me just switching back to my laptop.
Gotcha, no worries. You see, on the other side of this door... There it is. Behind the door lies a simple chamber containing... Oh, no, sorry, wrong one. There it is. While the smell of blood and metal permeates the air every step, this room is almost able to cover that up with the smell of grease, oil, and wood. On various tables scattered around the room lie all kinds of tools for all kinds of trades. Some sitting next to half-assembled mechanical devices, finished suits of armor and weapons. Along the northernmost way, a long blood trail connects the 2 other closed doors in this room. You are able to see there is a door to the west, which does have that same crystal slot, and a door to the east that does not. And in fact, that door is slightly ajar. I'm going to have
Ooh.
everybody go ahead and roll me a quick perception check as you enter this room. Taylor, Tyler. Yeah, just Taylor and Tyler. As you guys all enter the room, you're kind of looking around, getting a sense of the room. Both the twins, you hear a sound coming through that door in that chamber to the east. Something wet. Like a wet smacking sound.
Ugh.
And then a small crunch.
I put my finger up to my lips and give that universal shush sign.
Oh,
And then I point at that door.
okay.
And at this point, we will resume initiative order as everyone's in the room. Tez, what would you like to do?
And the door is closed. We're just hearing it.
It's
The door
slightly
is-
ajar.
It is barely open. It's slightly ajar, and there's just enough of an
Oh.
opening for noise to come through.
Ooh. I'm just gonna stand by the door. I'm not. Nah. I'll push the door just a little to see if I can peek in.
You push the door to peek in just a little, and you can see the tail end of one of those wriggling little ankle biter things, happily munching on something that you can't see. It's just out of view.
Okay. I'll crawl back down. Really cat-like. One of those little things is in there, munching on something.
I'll fucking kill it.
Let's rush in there. Okay.
What you doing?
Kick the door in and walk in.
You immediately walk in, and you see this room. Behind the door lies a simple chamber containing a bed and a nightstand, with a writing desk in the far corner. It appears to have once been used as a sleeping chamber for overnight projects or something. But the main thing about this room is that it looks like it's been trashed. The paperwork's all over the place, and a lot of it that's on the ground is currently stained with blood because the only occupants in the room look to be a corpse that looks like it's half-eaten, and 2 of these little wretches on the ground that are currently eating it. And as you kick the door in, they both look up.
Ooh.
They're right in front of you, and you still have your action. What would you like to do?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit one.
All right,
And
take a whack.
All right, cool. Yeah, the one right there. Actually,
Yeah, one here.
I'm going to rage. I'm mad.
You rage. Roll your D8 for wild magic,
Okay.
because shit's about to get hairy in a very small room.
yeah. All right, so that's gonna be a 6, which is until my rage ends. I'm surrounded by multicolored. Oh, this is a good one. I'll throw it in the text.
Yeah, you get a
Multicolored
+1
protective
bonus to
light.
AC, and any allies within 10 feet of you get the same bonus.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you are slightly harder to hit, but go ahead and take your whack at this thing.
Boom. Ho.
You want me to?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you killed it, but roll damage to see how bad it was.
All right. There's that.
Jesus.
Okay, so it's all cold. Yeah, oh my god. This thing don't, like... There would be a loud, explosive, like, wet explosion in here as this thing just gets obliterated, but because of your maul is currently frosted over with cold, you all hear from the other room the sound of what sounds like glass or ice tinkling as it hits stone, as this thing gets instantly frozen and obliterated.
Okay. I'll walk
Yeah,
up
it
to
just
the
straight
next
up-
one.
It got deleted. Like, this thing is dead.
I would like to try to delete this one with my next attack.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's also gonna
Ooh.
hit.
Okay.
And this one gives the sound you were expecting. And you also, all of you outside, see a flash of light coming through the door as this thing gets just obliterated with lightning,
Oh, did I kill that
leaving
one
a
too?
bloody squelch that
Cool.
gets vaporized.
Okay.
Oh, we're okay if you want to come in.
Yeah. You guys have left. I mean, I'm still keeping combat initiative up, but yeah, they're dead. Room's empty.
It's clear.
Dad.
All right, Dross, was that another key?
Based on the magic, I expect it was. Corey, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it was.
Yeah, you pull. Did you pull the key out and bring it with you?
Yeah. I mean, we
you
timed
pulled
it
it
out
out.
to that I would yank it over with Mage Hand.
So sorry, I skipped over that. Yeah, it is in fact another key. This one, if you hand it over to Tyler to read or have it read to you, from that room, it reads. 1 second. Should have had it written somewhere a little bit brighter. Staff Chief in Abyssal is written on this key.
All right.
But yeah, you now have 2 of those keys for the record.
Security Chief and Staff Chief. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, this chamber with these 2 little wretches, they get obliterated. Tez, you can actually see out in the open a couple more of those robes and then more of those keys. Real quick, roll me a history check.
Okay.
Oh shit, wrong one. A little clicky happy.
Oh, that was a little better.
You start, like, you're just kind of marveling in your own success for a moment. You're like, man, I fucking killed those things. They don't even exist anymore. And your eyes kind of settle, like, in that, like, spaced out, like, reflective way, like, looking at the robe.
Uh-huh.
Your subconscious makes the leap. You recognize those robes.
Oh, I've seen these before.
The last time you saw these robes, the elders of the Tallstone tribe were wearing them before the ritual.
Oh. Okay.
I think I'd probably cool it with the rope for a moment.
Oh.
I'll take the robe off for sure.
Fair enough. Tess comes out of that room pulling the robe off. Tess, for the sake of it, give me a deception check. Anyone who wants to can roll an insight check against that. As he comes out, seemingly like he should be feeling pretty good about the fact that he just won an entire thing of combat without needing anyone else's help.
You just too covered in blood and gore. Need to take that off.
Oh, yes. When I smash them, which I smash things a lot, I got all yucky.
Yeah, that checks out. I'm not suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Tez seems a little resigned that he got his robe all wet, so he takes it off.
We'll wash it soon.
The rest of you, as you're still in this workshop room, anyone who wants to can roll either Arcana, History, or Intelligence if you're not proficient in any of those two.
That tracks.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, Finn, you're distracted a little bit. You're still like you still got a little bit of that scent of the stew in your or the taste of the stew in your mouth, and then the scent from the gas. It's just kind of like trying to sensory reset at this point. Everyone else that rolled though, you recognize there's various projects that are in like half states of repair and assembly around here. Most of you recognize on one of the tables there's a kind of like big suit of armor, like plate armor, that looks like it's being assembled and crafted, not necessarily smithed, as you would kind of expect plate armor to be smithed, but mechanically assembled. And then you kind of recognize the form factor. You guys have fought dudes wearing armor this big and this platey.
Oh shit.
Presumably not Drost.
Not Drost, no. But no, you've done enough studying. Yeah, you would definitely recognize that from an like a historical standpoint. You know what the light blades are. You know what they look like. There's plenty of tomes written about them and the arcane technical armor that they use. Okay. That, and in fact, as you kind of get a little closer, you start looking over, you find a couple of the diagrams for it, and yeah, this is light blade weaponry, light blade armor.
Ooh, we should take those diagrams.
I was just going to say that. Knowing that, I would probably grab any schematic or not out from anybody else, but, information, documentation.
Yeah, that's easily done. You grab the schematics for this thing. It includes how to build a full set of the armor, and as well as a couple of different of the sets of light blade weapons, like the glaive, the halberd, the great axe, the great sword, things like that. The only part you're seeing here, like especially with this half assembled set of it here, as you're looking it over, there's a key component missing that you're able to see in the diagrams. It's the power source. Those of you who have, there's no mention of the power source itself in the diagrams. It just is named power source goes here, wherever it's mentioned. No mentions of what exactly it is, though. Those of you who have fought them, remember, there's normally a crystal on the inside that powers everything. And there is no, while the slot for the crystal itself on the interior of the armor has already been assembled, there is no sign of the crystal itself.
Does it match roughly the shape of the ones that we're holding?
It does not.
Okay. I apologize if this is obnoxious, Corey, but if Detect Magic is still up with the 10-minute concentration, which I'm...
Yes.
I should have probably... Oh, no, I didn't take damage. I was going to say I should have rolled...
Yeah, you were fine. No, you still have detect magic up at the moment. Looking around, and then are you peeking in the room that Tez was in?
Yeah, just to get a look at the death and destruction.
Okay. Between both of the rooms, nothing in the first room other than that the western door that you haven't opened yet.
Mm-hmm.
And inside the second room, the smaller chamber, you do find a bunch of crystals very similar to the ones you have. However, none of these ones are marked in abyssal, and they actually look to be a little duller in color.
Have like an emanation or no?
They have a light emanation. It's not nearly as strong though.
In similar emanate. It's obvious that they aren't keys, but like from a power supply like value, would that be something that like I would?
They are
in grabbing a couple just to have?
form factor wise, the crystal you find in the chamber, these crystals, there's 4 of them in that chamber. They're the exact same form factor as the one that you have and the one that Tyler has, the chief crystals. However, it has some of the same arcane runes on them, but some of the runes are missing from these ones. The abjuration effect, the strong abjuration effect that comes off of your 2 crystals, it's a significantly weaker effect on these ones. You get the sense that these are the crystals that you guys have been collecting, the 2 that you now have, they've been marked as like chiefs, things like that, like high-ranking ones. These ones are probably less higher ranked.
Basically, front door admittance, but nothing into executive suites.
Remind me a little bit about the context of like why we're here. I know we chose to come here. From what I remember, it's we knew of this guy that we were trying to get information on, and heard that he had a factory outside of town that the Empire kind of like
Rolled up.
took over. Yeah. So we are under the assumption that this is Empire run. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say this too for Tez. He hasn't moved an inch. He's just standing by the door looking in there with a blank stare, gripping his hammer with both hands just at his waist.
And your passive perception's high enough, you pick up on that.
Tej, you alright, homie?
Oh. I feel I might need to say something. It took me a moment to realize, and I know we don't have a lot of time to get into it, but I've seen these robes before. They were worn by a group of people who may have helped me a bit with my magic. And, well, they were all wearing these robes. I don't know if it's significant or not, but it does seem strange. As when this happened to me, I was on Rook Island, very far away. But it's a bit disturbing.
At the mention of this in this ritual, Drost, roll me a history check with disadvantage.
Jesus Christ, it's so... Yep.
No observations then.
Maybe it's not important, but it does make me uncomfortable a bit.
Well, here. I'll take the one out of my bag and toss it.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
It was
They
a
were
bit
comfy,
reckless. A bit reckless what happened. Yes, I figured that these robes are so comfortable, they wouldn't have messed up so bad.
Oh, so they messed up, like, when you were around?
Oh, well, a little. Let's just say it's a little chaotic what I do. I intended it to be a little more controlled.
Oh, yeah. It's cool, though.
Yes.
What are you gonna do? Take what you get.
That's true. Okay.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
Next room. Do we think the
For the
poison's
other-
aired out enough?
Did we
Was
check
it
that
just the
body?
crystals on this workbench in there, Corey?
Yeah, there were just those crystals there.
Sure.
You also see what looked like work schedules posted. A lot of, especially now, there's a lot of blood spatter on a lot of these pages, blocking out most of the names. But so it looks like this was basically just a utility room, shift schedules, spare keys, things like that.
I'm gonna grab all that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say. I mean, any of this
Yeah.
intelligence.
Fucking. Well, we'll give it to that fucking dude that we want to get in good with. As proof that like what was going on with this shit.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Right. Oh, yeah. Exactly. And I mean, we can pour over the any of the information or whatever later when we got more time.
I grab all those other keys too if nobody else is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should all have a
if they're-
key.
If they're
Of some kind.
Yeah.
they got some sort of power in them or some sort of,
Yeah.
Only one way to find out what kind of power.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll grab one. I don't know how many
All right.
there are.
So
I'll grab one as well.
just to keep it in my head, Tyler and Drost are the ones that have the chief keys, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
You can put a little like color dot on their character so you know who has the main keys.
You know, I can and I'm going to. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And then mark them as the red and anybody else that has the weaker keys, maybe a green or something like that. Or,
Blue, I like
something.
blue.
Yeah, whichever
Yeah,
works for you.
There we go.
But I was going to take the one key and try the main door that we came through just to see if it opens.
Yeah, you take one of the normal keys, these weaker ones, and it opens that door without issue.
Okay. So it looks like we can get in through this door with the basic keys then.
Oh, nice.
okay.
Good test.
That'll
In
work.
emergency situations, that might come in handy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That leaves only one locked door in this room.
I guess I'll try my key to see if it opens that door.
Okay, you head over there and you test it. You put the key into the slot. No green light. You get a red one.
There we go.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I'll put mine in
Your
there.
turn.
So the weaker keys work for the door to the south of us,
Yes.
but
the
not
weak
not
keys
to the
work for
west?
that door, but not for the one to the west.
Okay.
Tyler, however, as she goes up and slots her key in, the door opens up.
We'll just color code the keys so we can decipher them. They've got the blue keys. We've got the weak green keys. So the green keys
Correct.
don't open this door, but the blue will.
So, you open up the door to the west, and God, I really need to get better about organizing. Excuse me. A bright blue light floods into the doorway as it opens to reveal literal bloodbaths. 4 stone wells, filled to the brim with bright red blood, are set in the floor of the room,
Oh.
with several half-eaten corpses in red robes scattered about. In the far corner of the room, a metal handle is attached to some kind of mechanism in the wall. The blue light is being emitted by another blue crystal eye, though while lit up, this one does not appear to be actively scanning anything like the one in the entrance.
Okay.
So, you have access to the room, though, for the next 12 seconds. What are you guys doing?
We going in?
Yeah, pile in.
Let's go in.
All right. You all enter into that room. Drost, you still have Detect Magic up for the moment. Same thing. There, the door behind you is Abjuration. There's a door to the south. That is also Abjuration.
Mm-hmm.
The crystal, that blue crystal that's giving off this light, definitely magical. And in fact, it is divination.
Uh, does it look the same as the original eye in the entryway?
Similar, but not mounted the same way. It looks like it's made of the same material, but the way
And the
it's mounted
orb.
and the way and the way it's mounted in this one's actually mounted up into the wall. The way it's mounted and the way it's set and the way almost like at the height level and the fact that it's not actively scanning anything either. Even the way it's lit up is differently. Like the one in the main room almost had this like pulsing light because it was essentially a door entryway. It was meant to scan whatever's coming close to us. This seems like it's just backlit and not in use at the moment. But definitely, but it's also giving off a different, completely. Yeah, it's giving off divination as opposed to abjuration.
Okay. Yeah, the eye. That eye is meant to function differently than that front one. Otherwise, doesn't look like there's anything magical in here.
Not that you can see, other than the eye.
Not obvious, right? Yeah. You said there was a lever on that far side of the room?
Yes, there is a metal handle attached to some kind of mechanism.
Ooh. I'll lean down to one of the blood baths and dip my little paw in it, my finger, and taste it. What is this?
It's like yeah, it tastes like oxidized blood. It doesn't have the coloration of old blood, but it has the taste.
Ooh. This is blood. I've tasted it. What should we do? Pull the lever?
I mean, I think probably right.
I think we should.
Group,
It seems weird to have a lever there without somebody needing to pull it.
Group, should you check the lever?
Too tempting.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I mean, if y'all want me to, I can.
Let's make sure it's not trapped.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a Thieves' Tools check. Should be Dex plus, I think, you expertise. So, although I think there should be one on your sheet or an option for it.
Yep.
Wow.
Boy, I hope that works.
You see Garuk, Garuk begrudgingly goes up to this after you guys are just go check it out, and she's like, yeah. Opens up like a little fanny pack that guys didn't even see hidden on her belt, and like a long wrapped up thing of Thieves' Tools opens up. She pulls out a couple things, starts checking the mechanisms of this lever, and after like 30 seconds, puts everything back. You're confident, Garuk. There's nothing trapped on this.
Go ahead and pull it, Tez.
I trust you, Garuk. I pull it.
You pull the lever, and you immediately hear this. It's a slight alarm blaring, like a as the levels in the blood wells start going down as they are being drained.
Oh.
Ooh.
Goodbye, blood.
And after an amount of time where the door behind you closes, eventually, all of the blood wells have been drained, and you hear in one of the blood wells as a little sleeping wretch down in the bottom of the well, it's about 4 feet down, was sleeping in the blood, and it's now been woken up, and it doesn't have the capacity to jump that high, so it's just like scrabbling at the walls, like trying to climb out.
Shoot it.
I will shoot it too if needed.
Roll an attack.
Mercy kill.
Shooting fish in a barrel.
Both hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Not that you probably need to roll damage on the second one, but Jesus.
Nah.
Only 15 because I forgot to say that I moved my hex to it.
Same sound. It still falls over dead. These things are fucking meat pillows. Yeah, it is full on dead.
Danny, the other ones have them in them?
Go ahead and give me anyone who wants to give me an investigation as you check the other blood wells.
Yeah,
Drained blood wells.
Down a well.
I'm looking around.
Tez, you are like peeking over every well, like looking for another one of these things, and you never find another one.
I want to kill one.
Yeah, Garuk, Taylor, you guys are, and Tyler, you're all like on edge. You don't find it. Drost, you are in the one closest to the door over here. You find down in the bottom of the well are two. Everything's covered in like blood at the moment because the blood drained out of this thing. But two fairly big vials down in the bottom there. Hard to tell with the blood on the outside of the vial what's inside.
Any magic aura coming from them?
Definitely magic aura coming off of them.
I understand how that's. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Finn, you spot in the well, these other two wells here in the back, as you go and just peek into them real quick. One of them has what looks like a small figurine of a boat sitting in the bottom of it. And another one has this like big clay jug down on the bottom, like a gallon-sized jug. Currently half filled with blood as it's sitting on its side, but I mean, otherwise empty besides the remnant blood.
Well, I will mage hand them out, and then once they're on the ground, I will fucking prestidigitation and clean them up so they're not covered in gross old blood.
Okay. The boat figurine, it looks like a wooden, almost like a sailing boat toy. Little mast on it and everything. Pristine, and now that it's been cleaned up. The jug itself, fairly well crafted pottery. Two handles on it, on one on each side, for holding it up. About a gallon and a half or so. Drost, both the figurine and the jug also give off magical auras. These are definite magical items.
These look fancy.
Yeah, I mean, give us a minute, and I can identify the specifics of what's going on here. They're definitely magic. I would in the same manner. I'd grab the vials out and hand them to Finn. Clean these off too.
Yeah. Oh, can you not do this?
I can. I just don't want to. Yeah. Blood's just weird. Weirds me out.
Gross, but yeah.
You prestidigitate the blood off of them, and you're met with a very familiar red liquid, slightly viscous. Very similar to some other potions that you guys have. Albeit slightly more potent versions of them.
These are like healing potions.
They do look like healing potions.
Ooh. I don't know what y'all want to do, but I'm cool with hanging tight for a minute while Drost identifies all this shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's cool with me.
Let's
I've
do
got
it.
Again, it'd be a ritual for me, so it would take 10 minutes per, but you want to hold tight?
Finn, I would also remind you, you have a magic item that's capable of casting Identify.
Oh shit, I do. Because I figured out how that works.
Captain
right?
Stormraven. Yeah, Captain Stormraven, you figured out how to use Spyglass.
Oh yeah, I did.
You've had it. Yeah, you've had it properly identified. So
yeah, I forgot about
capable
that.
of working.
I couldn't remember if some of the stuff on it I still don't know though, right?
Yeah, some of the later stuff you're not aware of, but you are aware that it has more than enough charges to get through like 5 or 6 uses of Identified before it has to wait a day.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I'll find it. I know I have it written down. There we go. Yep, 3 charges per day.
Yep. Okay.
Before I
Yeah, I
identify.
did. So yeah.
So
between the two of you, you're able to get everything quickly. The 2 potions are 2 potions of greater healing. The little boat figurine is a folding boat, standard 5e, no changes to it. And the jug is an alchemy jug.
That sounds exciting.
Well, Merry fucking Christmas, Dros.
You can
I'll
have
toss
it,
in the
Toast.
alchemy jug. Taz, I'm seeing you want one of these healing potions, right?
I'd take one just in case.
You get hit the most, so that probably tracks.
As long as everyone's okay with it.
Take it.
Okay. Greater healing.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, if I get in a pinch, I can always pull something out of my some animal out of my magic pouch, and then vampiric touch it to kill it to get hit points.
That is true.
All right. You have your identified items, though. There's still the locked door to the south, and then this eye over on the west side of the room. What are you guys doing?
Checking out the eye.
Okay. You walk up to the eye, and there's no clear way of how to interface with it, but you're relatively attuned to magic. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. 16. This is normally out of your sphere of influence. You're not normally, you're much more in tune with the natural side of magic than the arcane. And this is definitively arcane. However, you are able to kind of interface with it a little bit, especially after talking with and seeing him interact with certain things. It's giving you at least an idea of where to start. You start going through, or you start interfacing with this crystal, and you find it's actually a repository of knowledge, almost like an arcane journal. Most of the entries appear to have been corrupted, and it very quickly pops up and tells you that foreign objects were detected, but that was an alert that has now been cleared from the wells. You guys have already emptied everything out, so status is marked as normal for the blood wells. Going through the journal entries, most of them appear to be very technical in nature, talking about experiments going on with reducing things like life form and flesh and blood into condensed energy and crystals for unknown purposes.
Alright, I'll share that. Be like, hey, check this out.
And I'm also going to have you roll, since you interfaced with it correctly, go ahead and roll me a history check as well.
Okay.
Okay. You start scanning through a lot of the these journal entries on here, and yeah, a lot of it's arcane technical nonsense that doesn't make any sense to you, so you just kind of file that away as like, it's not my bag. Nothing grabs your eye as you're glancing through it, though. It's just a lot of the same,
Drost,
like,
you may wanna...
tried this experiment, got this outcome.
Yeah. Like, Drost, you may want to take a look at this. I can't understand half of it.
Sure, yeah. I'll pop over there and sort of mimic what.
Same thing. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana and then a History check.
Gladly. Shit. I would need to recast Detect Magic then after I fucked around with Identify spells. But I'm not going to do that right now. Instead... Oh, sorry, I'm dying. Instead, I'd like to use Guidance.
Thought so. Yeah, go ahead.
And
you can do so. You can do so for both checks.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'll just make them both, and depending on the Arcana you said, and History.
Yeah.
Woof. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you get a little bit of feedback trying to use it. Your brain's still in like identify mode, so you immediately you almost go through the initial parts of trying to identify what this this crystal eye is, and it's just like, no, okay, no, I shouldn't be doing that, and you're able to access just the most recent journals. Your mind's a little clouded from doing all of this, so you're not able to get much more information out of it than Tyler was.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
Ben, can you read it?
Maybe.
If you want to take a shot, go ahead and roll an Arcana check first.
Sure. My inexplicable proficiency in Arcana. There it is.
Ooh.
Easily, very easily, you're able to interface with this, and you have full access to all of the journals in here. Roll me a history check.
I like having two of them here.
That's where I fall apart. Yep.
Finn, I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Ooh.
Hey, that's one of my
Hey, look at
proficiency.
Oh.
shit.
There we go. Take that.
You start scanning through some of these journals, and it's a lot of what Tyler technical in nature, not necessarily your bag either. You scroll back almost as far as you can go, and you see two words that you register them in your brain like you read, and then you just feel this flash of anger coming from the back of your mind all the way through all of your senses of just pure rage and pain. And you almost feel a bit of blood coming down your nose, but you manage to resist that urge. Like, put your hand up to your nose, block it, and you stop interfacing with the device after that. There were two words in some of the early journal entries that you interfaced with that whatever it was, your patron did not like reading them.
Oh. Cool. No, I cannot read those.
Oh, your nose is bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
You okay?
Nope. Real far from it. Holy shit balls. Whew. I don't know what that is, but you know, the the voice on the other end of the line did not appreciate it.
And because you rolled that natural 20, you're able to feel this. Eldath doesn't normally try to take the driver's seat, but you've gotten pretty good anytime that he pipes up of, keeping him in the back and just listening to him as he tries to backseat drive. It's taking all of your willpower to keep him from immediately trying to destroy this thing.
He wants this thing destroyed really bad.
Oh, we should leave then.
Oh.
That's not good.
Well, but it means we should probably figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if he wants it destroyed, is that something that you want too?
Not right now. I can't say how long that will continue to be the case.
Sure.
But yeah. No, I said I'm fairly indifferent.
Well, we could try to take care of it, but it seems powerful.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe we can try again another time, or because it'd be great to have more information, especially if this is an Empire facility.
Seems like there's lots of fucking secrets in there.
Mm-hmm.
Would I poor rolls. With any of the paperwork and stuff like that, would I have been able to correlate any of that information in the? No, I didn't even. Never mind. I didn't even get past go with it. Don't mind me.
Roll me another history check at disadvantage.
Oh well.
You guys have been you've been steadily collecting information as you go. I'm willing to at least give you a shot at it. 12.
Better than 10, but not.
It's better than 10. And just better enough that I can give you at least a tidbit. Yeah, some of the documents you've collected, and there was one mention of something in one of the more recent journal entries that you were able to access. You weren't able to access a lot. It was like the last couple, 3. But the phrase "the Mystics" pops up in your head. It was one of the only things in that journal, technical data.
Okay. Well, it's more than nothing.
Now, the question is, do you say that phrase out loud?
Yes. I don't think I would have. Yeah, I don't have the tact. I would have probably asked Finn, is it the Mystics that he's upset
It is
about?
not. Yeah, Finn, you hear that phrase? It is not the phrase that your backseat driver threw a fit about.
Oh, he's not really fucking going berserk over that one.
But Tez,
Oh,
roll me another history check.
okay. Oh, I'm so bad at it.
Your fur gets
You
a
can
little itchy.
you can see my face crunching up while I'm thinking.
You can hear the fucking wheel that the hamster's running on.
Nothing. Not a damn
Hurt
thing.
yourself over
though.
there, buddy. Don't hurt yourself over there, man.
It's okay.
Something
There's
about that phrase seemed familiar, though. You're not sure what.
Something important about that phrase. I hope I don't forget that.
Who is it? What was it? The Mystics?
The Mystics.
Maybe it was connected to my connection with the robes. I just don't know.
But that is what you guys have gotten so far. You still have a locked door in here. You have a locked door heading back to all the other locked doors, and eventually that room with the poison in it. So, what are you guys doing?
Should we check out what looks like the last room? Oh no, yeah, that's right, the poison.
I mean, I say we just keep going, right?
Right.
Yeah, we
might as
keep
well
going.
stay here and check this next room out.
All right, so you head to the south door.
Yep.
Should we try one of the
Alright.
green keys in it first?
Yeah, let's try the green key.
Oh,
Tez, you want to give it
Okay.
a shot?
oh, use my green key.
You slot your key into there, and you see the three lights pop up. Left is red, middle is red, right is red. And it plays that same message as before. Research facility lockdown in progress. Central experimentation chamber in use. Staff must contact team leads to lift the lockdown.
This is locked. My key won't work.
I'll try.
So
And put
yeah,
our
so it looks like it's
both our keys in.
Yeah,
We might need a third one though.
Josh,
right.
try
We
your
must
key.
need a third key. Yeah, I mean, I'd try this one.
You know, hold on. That's my bad on this, because I forgot there was one other thing you guys found with those investigations. In the well underneath the dead wretch, you find another one of those keys.
Ooh.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh,
With Abyssal written on it.
What's it
this
say?
This one is labeled Research Chief.
Look at that.
that's an
So
important
whoever,
title.
whoever wants that one, you can change your dot to blue.
Well, I would have probably mage handed it out and cleaned it off, so unless somebody else particularly wants it, I'll keep
Go
it.
for it.
All right, you go from green to blue. You have a blue key. So, Tyler, you said you're going to go up to the door and check it?
Yeah.
All right.
I
You
feel like
slot
all
your
of us
key.
with the important keys should check it at once.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Tyler, you go up there, you slot your key into the door, and the three lights come up. Left is red, middle is red, right is green. And it plays the same message again.
Oh, so we've each got to be standing at one of the doors.
Yeah, one key for this door, one key for the main
Ooh,
room,
yeah.
and the third for the gas room.
That's
my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because this one was the far right dot, and then the middle one was the middle dot, and we didn't try the one in the south, but
Yeah, well, I'm assuming it was in the room with the poison, so. All
Just
right,
gonna
well,
clear out of initiative order because you guys have figured it out and now have all have keys. So, with that, who's going to what doors?
Tez, you want to go with me?
I'll go with you. Yes.
You want to do the middle door?
Let's do the middle door.
Okay. Easily enough, no time limit on this point. You all have keys and are able to open every one of these doors without issue at this point. So,
Alright.
stack
stay
up
here.
on what door you are wanting to.
I'll head
Taylor,
south.
you're
with
with
whoever.
me.
I'm assuming you guys are using Finn. Finn, are you trying to relay and communicate like when they need to be activated?
Yeah, I can do that. I guess how far?
Yeah, so we've got the small keys that work on these doors here,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then these doors only open.
Well,
With,
you haven't tested the door to the poison room yet.
Okay.
Test it. I'll
Does
try
someone with the
mine.
green key want to test it?
I will test mine.
All right, you go up to that door to the poison room, slot your key in, pull it out, comes out green. Door opens up.
Oh, so that does open with this green key. Okay.
Yep. So for you guys have been through here. So that's the community room. The community room does open for any key.
Okay.
It is exclusively the main doors to the central experimentation chamber, the fancy lights,
Yeah.
and then that door to the north experiment lab that are team leads only.
How's the gas in this chamber down here?
It has officially dissipated. Like there's a faint green mist, but as you open the door, it completely dissipates.
Okay.
No poison left in this.
Would it be fair to say that I recast detect magic?
Yeah, you guys are no
yeah,
longer
our
on a time
last
stint,
semester.
so yeah, you're
Sure.
absolutely able to.
Can just as a bit of being nosy, and knowing that everyone's got a lot of magic items and stuff like that on them, I would have maybe just glanced at people, just to see like what they're packing, and I don't need a full breakdown list type thing, but throughout the while I had it on this whole process.
Yeah, you would have seen a couple of magic items on just about all of them. Some weapons on Garuk, some of the the hat especially, but also the belt, and I can't remember. Are you wearing the armor, the Coat of the Traveler, Finn?
Nope. I think I gave that to Taylor, I believe.
And yeah, it's studded leather. So Taylor's armor and not his bow, but his bowstring are magic, and Tyler's staff is magic. Tez's hammer. Tez is wearing bracers that are definitely magic. Tez's hammer is super magic. As far as you're concerned, it's nearly blinding. And the only other magic item you've seen with that same kind of effect is your cloak.
And on the notion of magic items, does the Ring of Wish glow through my boot?
It does not.
Okay.
Uh-oh. No, is that the first he's hearing of that?
It is.
Nobody knows.
That's
That's all player knowledge.
Detect magic is
character knowledge.
It is. Correct. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Drost. I don't have the spell in front of me at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's just visible things. Like it doesn't go through walls or anything. Or
I think.
let me make sure of that.
Can penetrate most barriers. Blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead.
Oh shit!
Then it's going to shine
Okay,
through.
so
It's
we're-
absolutely going to
so
shine
it
through.
doesn't go through walls, but there's
You
one
led one
other.
of those boots.
There's one other object, and it is. You're relatively schooled in levels of magical enchantment. You'd classify things like your cloak or that hammer that Tez has as artifact level. There's a small pinprick of conjuration magic coming from Taylor's boot, and it is that same level of power as an artifact.
Again, not having much of a filter. I would have complimented Tez.
You two are in the kitchen right now.
Yeah, I was
so.
gonna say I would have complimented Tez. I would have maybe done it, maybe not like with the group, if we can kind of like retcon a little bit of this, but like not with. I would have been like, hey, that's a pretty pretty intense hammer you've got there, like really cool. Obviously, I've seen it in action. Um, and I would maybe have tried to, in not a super public way, but like to sorry, was it Taylor with it in the
Yeah,
boot?
Taylor had a pinprick in their boot.
I'd be like, hey, what's with your boot? Seems like it's pretty powerful. Just in a small area, though.
Yeah, it's something I'm not trying to actively show on my hand. It's a ring that can do stuff, but we'll save that for later.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. No, he's not trying to pry. Just
Oh, it's all right.
interested in
Everybody
that type
knows
of
about
stuff.
it. I'm just
So,
making sure we don't accidentally use it.
right. Yep. Got it. But anyways, yeah, we're maybe as we're strolling towards unlocking this door.
Yeah, easily enough to have that. But you're now in the poison room, and you have 3 blue keys, and or one of which is at each of the doors. So, are you guys opening it?
On Finn's order.
Whenever you guys are ready, I can relay a message to my room.
Yep. I was gonna say we'll probably have to have like Elvis relaying a message to Tyler and Garuk, and then same thing, like Kisa pass the message down to that. So yeah, our at our prearranged signal, I guess we'll turn the keys, right?
Okay.
All right. It's easy enough to do because as soon as one of you slots in your blue key, that same thing of light, those 3 lights, pops up on every single one of your doors. You haven't been in 2 different rooms to observe it yet, but every time one of you has been activating it, it pops up on the doors. So one of you enters the key, sees the lights, the next person enters their key, third person sees the lights, enters their key, and you watch as all 3 of the lights are green. And you hear, authorization overridden. Central experimentation chamber opening. Caution, in use. As the 3 stone doors open, all of you are met with a large, semi-rounded stone chamber. Dark, no candles, no torches, anything lit in here, with a stone walkway around 3 sides of it. A stone lip keeps a pool of blood in the center of the room from spilling over, with another central stone well filled with darker, older, oxidized blood. Stone steps on either side lead to a hallway heading west, with cart rails mounted into the floor leading up to the central pit. As you enter, the stone begins to rumble, just ever so slightly, and a small tremor appears in the smaller blood pool and the blood well.
Oh,
The familiar rumble.
that doesn't seem normal.
Similar, but not in
We would have
the
no
same
way to tell
scope.
either.
Yeah, it's everything's shaking at this point. It doesn't seem to be as strong as it was before, though.
What did we get ourselves into here?
I don't know,
But you all enter, and as you all enter, whoosh, from the central blood well, this massive monstrosity of flesh, almost like an appendage, erupts from the center room, spraying blood on all of the stone walls. And you start you look at it and you're like, oh, that is just something weird and covered in blood. And then you start looking at it, and one of you sees an eye open up on it, looking directly at you.
Ooh.
And another person sees another eye in a different spot looking directly at it. And another, and another, and then the mouths start opening up.
Ooh.
As this large, fleshy abomination
Gross.
I don't
looks
like
at
it.
you all, and you hear this. And that is where we're going to leave off for the night.
It's Meatwad
Holy shit.
Cthulhu.
Oh, that is
As the doors behind you slowly close, and you are left in this room with this thing. That is where we call it.
All right.
It's a new member of our party.
All right.
So I'm going to end the recording here.
Yeah, we'll add it.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time.